Right, so this is the Viva. We're going to be talking about how Tekken went, the whole period about Tekken, and then we're going to be leading into costume runs and blood runs, which are going to be the next Viva. So Tekken was pretty fun, I think. I enjoyed the Tekken because I got to see my character in a completely different light. I got to see how the character like truly feels on stage, like the presence of the character, which I thought was pretty interesting. I think all of it for me was a lot of fun during the Tekken, especially when we had like the smoke machines come out and I got to see like Hacken walking out of the trees. I thought like that was pretty sick. Um, Also, Tekken for me was a really big sort of part because during the Tekken, even though we was only Tekken for what was it to do like 2 days, 2 or 3 days,
Yeah, 2 days.
2 days. In those 2 days, I saw Hacken in a complete different light. Like I saw his violent nature completely different to how I'd usually seen his violent nature. And for me, this helped a lot with my character, especially like the character building, because I know that now I can see not only like the true story of Hacken, where I've already known it, but now I can see Hacken in a completely different limelight. I can see him in this way where he's actually a nice person, and he does try his best. And like for me, Hacken is all about loneliness. It's like chronic loneliness, and it's all he's ever known. And that's why he's very afraid to lose Eli because that's all he's ever known for his whole life. That's like literally since he was young, he learned to kill for Eli. So he's got a attachment to that, a trauma bond. But seeing that side of Hacken, which is what I always saw, and then doing my violent scenes and like cleaning runs, was like, okay, cool, this is good. But during the teching, I got to see like the real feeling of Hacken. Like he's not just a guy who kills. Like he is genuinely someone who like knows what he's doing, and like doesn't just turn up just to kill. Like he's got it all planned out in his head. He knows how he's gonna do it. He's got everything ready. And I'd say the music definitely added to the characters. Would you say the music has added to your character as well?
Yeah, 100%. It made me feel like more confident just to like go full out and do it because I feel like if we don't have the music, it's a bit awkward, especially for me when I'm doing killing scenes. It's a bit awkward just to like fling myself onto people and do all these screaming things.
I
Just
agree.
makes it a lot more comfortable just to go and do that.
100%. Like when I'm doing my killing scene, I'm throwing my acid on my face. Like it was like a whole build up before, like during the cleaning, which is probably in the folder that I added to production during all of the rehearsals. So it should be in there. But you can see like the atmosphere, and that was completely different to the one in Tekken. Because like don't get me wrong, there's a build up to it, but there's no music. You just see sheer panic, and you can see the acting on it. But when the music comes out, you can like really see like Hacken's panic, and it brings something out. I don't know, especially when it hits that point where I throw the acid on my face. There's a cue line to that cue in the music where I do that, and it just brings so much power to the scene. Like it really transforms the scene, completely different. So Tekken for me was like really fun, and I feel like as well it made our scene a bit more comfortable. I don't know if you felt that way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's just like when we're doing it without music, it's because it's a lot, there's not really much talking. You have your big, like, not big paragraph, but your speech, and then the rest of it is just movement and me just killing you,
yeah,
and it's just a bit like underwhelming without the
mm,
music. I feel like the music really adds to the scene and brings up the atmosphere.
definitely it brings that whole build up, to the killing, to the final bit where Hacken dies. And also our other scene where we have that speech and I find you killing as well, like the whole thing with all the
Mm.
screaming and the lights flashing and like it's just like now with the flashlights they're way more like punchy because it goes from
Yeah,
lighting to the flashlight and I'm like, right, okay, this is great.
yeah, I love that scene with the lights and stuff because it's just it makes, you know how it like flashes on me and then it goes to Ruby, then it's to Chloe. It really shows like makes it seem like she's moving really quick to another place and then moving really quick to another place because they won't be able to tell who's who. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like she's constantly like using her super speed and all of her super strength,
Yeah,
and the flashing lights really just like builds up the tension a lot.
definitely, and I feel like that tension build as well also helps me come on stage because when we did it before, it just felt awkward. Like the whole time we was doing it, it
Yeah,
was awkward. Like we were trying not to laugh. Let's be honest.
yeah,
It was just awkward. But now when the teching, that scene doesn't feel awkward anymore. It feels like I can get on stage. look at you as if I'm looking at Eli. It's not like I'm looking at Tallulah anymore. It's like I'm looking at Eli, and it just feels great. Like even the
Mhm.
scenes where we get closer, like there's a little bit of music. It's subtle. You know, it's not just us speaking because we barely like speak. Like each line's up like what 5 words, 6 words. It's like
Yeah.
it's not punchy at all. But with certain points where we stop talking and there's that acknowledgement where you sort of show your humane side, would you say, where you sort of
Yeah.
switch from
Yeah.
being a cold-hearted killer to someone who's trying to show Hacken are like, I still sort of feel that way about you, but you don't. It feels so much better. Um, and I just feel like Tekken really added a lot to this. I think throughout the whole piece as well, just watching on the sidelines for some of the scenes, you know, like you watch some of the scenes, you think like this is really good. Like some of the scenes were a bit flat before. I feel
Yeah. Yeah.
like even during the running, they were just a little bit flat. But now we've got the tech into it. It's like it's great. Like even the transitions, for example, like Ben putting on the
Mhm.
coat. That transition when we were doing it before was just like okay, he's putting on a
Yeah.
coat. There's a bit of music to it. It's not very powerful at all. It just looks a bit all over the place. But then as soon as we put the tech on it, we were like,
It just
okay,
really adds a whole nother element that you didn't even think was possible. I wouldn't say it was horrible before. Like obviously the scenes were good as it was, but it was just a bit like you said flat. Then as
mm,
soon as the teching came on, it was like, whoa! I didn't even know it could get this much better than it did.
yeah, definitely. Like every scene went from I would say probably a 6. Like if we're gonna be honest, like it was good, but it was like just it felt flat. I don't know how to put it. But then every scene went from that point to like a 10, and we were like, I think all of us were a bit blown away, especially how
Yeah.
good Tekken went. Like it was really smooth. Like we weren't playing around; we was actually getting it done. I think the extra week as well in the AMT, or the AMT, the theatre definitely helped us because there
Mm.
was so many transitions that we did in the theatre. I was like, cool, great. Now we've got the trees there. We're like, oh, well, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We got to change this. So that was definitely a big thing for me. Um, just the whole teching aspect, as well. Also, like I touched on it earlier, but like this was major for me. Like this changed the way I saw Hacken completely. Like he's not, like I said, he's not as innocent as he was. And I think it changed the way I view a lot of characters as well, like Eli. Like when I view you a lot, like I knew how cold-hearted you were at the same time, but then also seeing you in this sort of way from the side, I was like, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. This like helps me build my character because now I know that Eli is not just this soft girl and like when she kills, it's just a bit all over the place. It's like okay, she's proper, and I've seen this for so long. Like I'm used to this. So how does getting used to that feel? How does getting used to someone who's killing like this feel? Um, so that majorly helped in my character building process. Um, as well, like for Ben, I felt like seeing Ben in that sort of light just changed him. Like it
Mhm.
changed the setting for Ben in a way. Just seeing Oscar, like seeing how different Oscar is to Hacken, and seeing him like that, then made me add on to my character building because I was like, cool. Eli's obviously attracted to someone who's a bit more insecure, a bit more vulnerable, probably because they're easier to pull towards them. And so in my character profile that I built on my page, I used a bit of that to help it. So I saw Hacken as like that helped me bring Hacken's story back. Okay, why did Hacken meet Eli? Why was Hacken so attached to Eli? Why did he bond with her so much? Which is why I started doing research on like bonding and different forms of bonds. Which when I came across trauma bonds, which I actually didn't know was a real thing. So you learn something new every day. And I was
Yeah.
like, cool, that sounds exactly like Hacken. It also sounds exactly like Oscar. Um, so I was like, there's a pattern here. You know, they both come from that sort of life. And then met Eli come to life. She's just this amazing woman. She loves him. She gives him all this affection. She's perfect. And I was like, cool. Now I know why Hacken is so appreciative of Eli. But if it wasn't for Tekken, because it was just the way, I don't know, something about the Tekken that we did brought everyone's character out 10 times more. And it wasn't like we were performing any different. It was the lighting, the sound effects, everything. You could just see how insecure. I learned from the lighting because sometimes the lighting can bring out, like if you use a certain color light or the way it is lit, sort of brings out this way, this like atmosphere for the character. Because we touched over atmospheres like during
Yeah,
our thing.
I feel like I feel like the whole reason it like helps people um come to terms with their character more is because when when we're teching, we do our scenes with the whole lighting and stuff, and obviously, for me, it's always like kind of like a really dark blue lighting because I'm always out at night. It really makes you lock into your character and make you feel like you are in the scene, especially when we had all the set, all the props, and everything was like exactly how it was going to be on the night. It was so much easier just to like click into your character
Yeah,
and boom, you're actually in Sweden.
yeah,
You're not yourself anymore. It's
yeah.
really weird how it does that.
It just brought everything out. Like everything came to life. Like it wasn't like we was in the AMT anymore. Like you said, it felt like we was in Sweden. It felt like we was in a complete different atmosphere to where we was. Even the fog, the snow that we're going to be using,
Hmm.
like all of it, and seeing people react to that was also great because we've never sort of reacted in that sort of mannerism towards the piece. Like we've know what we're doing, but seeing it like that made everyone go, cool, this is the cold hearted atmosphere, this is where we are, this is how it feels, everything's cold blooded. And again, like, even for my, the opening scene where I kill, is it Torkel?
Torkel.
Kill Torkel. I get confused with Torkel and Jock and the other
Yeah.
one. But when I kill Torkel and the fog comes up and there's the lights, then I know, like, okay, Hakon's in a forest at this time. It's pure foggy, it's cold, it's late, it's dark. Like, he's hunting for Eli. Like, he's not just out in the forest, like, where I was just walking around on stage. I can see the trees, I can see the fog, I can completely set the atmosphere, and then I'm like, cool. This, like, adds major to Hakon, because that, like I said earlier, now I know he's a plan killer. Like everything he does is planned. Like you don't just go to the forest at that time of night for no reason. That's how it felt beforehand. It was like I'm just at the forest. Why am I at the forest? I know why I'm at the forest. I've gone through my lines. I've done it. I know why I'm there, but it doesn't feel like it. And that's why Tekken was so great because everything was brought out in
You
a
can
completely
actually
different light.
like understand your intentions going into the scene.
Yeah, definitely. You could understand everything, and I thought it was great. Like I really did. It was such a helping curve for me, and in every sort of way, I think it was a helping curve for everyone. All of the Eli's. I know Ben. It helped Ben. I've talked to Ben about it. Ben was supposed to be here today, but I don't think he could make the Vivas. But like even Ben would have talked about it. It helped his character so much because he said that it felt more like reasonable in a sense. Like it felt like more he was present in it. But I just think the Tekken was great. Like it just was. It was so quick. It was so powerful, and it changed everybody's perspective of their characters in 2 days, which was just amazing. Um, so yeah, I'm so glad we did it, and it really helped. And now I did my character building profile for it. I changed it. I drew it down on a piece of paper when I first had it, and I went over it completely differently after the teching, put it on my coursework, and I was like, yeah, this is perfect. I love it. All the character questions were answered, everything was there, and I was like, yeah, great. But that is Tekken, and then we're going to go and talk about blood and costume runs now. So, great.